Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of The Bug Warrior. In today's video we will talk about a very interesting side quest in Diablo 4 called Lost Legacy. This story is important because for the first time ever we will get to visit the Black Tomb, which is in simple words where the host of Mephisto in Diablo 2 rests. This story will show us everything that happened after the fight with Mephisto in Diablo 2. On top of the great lore we will get some rewards, a challenge, but most important, the Monarch Shield Transmog from Diablo 2. Alright, so let's get to it. This shield transmog, known in Diablo 4 as Paladin Lord's Bulwark, is exactly how the Monarch shield looked back in Diablo 2. That shield was important because with 4 sockets you were able to craft the Spirit Runework. I find it very cool that they actually added this transmog in Diablo 4 and that also we get a bit of lore on what has been going on with the Paladins and the Saccharum after the events in Diablo 2. It all begins with the Lost Legacy side quest. You need to teleport to the ruins of Rakat Keep. From there go southwest and you will find Ksenia. Ksenia then requests that we purge the defiled halls from Mephisto's corruption. As soon as we enter the defiled halls, you will find an urgent letter that tells us exactly what is going on. It reads,
I, Karthus, and my most trusted retinue, Alodia, Matthias, and Elazar, seal this place with ourselves inside. Though we fall to Mephisto's corruption, we shall not forget our duty. Even in death, we guard the body of San'Kakor.
Alright, here's where it gets cool. For those who don't remember, San'Kakor was the man that served as the host for Mephisto in Diablo 2. San'Kakor used to be the Quehagan of the corrupted Saccharum Fate. Basically, he had the Sapphire Soulstone, yes, the same one that Neyrelle has in Diablo 4. Fast forward to today, we find ourselves at the Black Tomb. The defiled halls is no other than the resting place of San'Kakor, who even in death still had a demonic influence in his corpse from Mephisto. And now we know that the Paladin Marshal Karthus took the corpse to this very tomb to prevent the corruption from spreading throughout the region. So, back to the quest. We will need to find and kill Alodia, Matthias, Eleazar, and finally face Karthus. Since they all have been corrupted by Mephisto, as we find each one of the characters, they give us interesting insights on what has happened to them. First up is Matthias. Here is the item's description of his blade. The first to fall to Mephisto's corruption. Matthias' blade is still wet with the blood of his fellow paladins. Later on, we find Alodia. Here is what her blade says. Watching her fellow paladin turns against Karthus, Alodia's blade is still wet with the blood of those she slew in anger. And finally, Eleazar. Refusing to draw his blade against his fellow paladins, Eleazar's blade is still wet with his own blood. So we know that Matthias and Alodia both fell to Mephisto's corruption and killed their fellow paladins. However, Eleazar was stronger and he decided to kill himself than fight his comrades, as we can see. Once we get to the end of the dungeon, we need to place the swords in order to summon Karthus. By the way, please notice how we get to see the Monarch shield on the ground next to Karthus' corpse. Once you summon him and kill him, we are able to listen to the unsent letter addressed to the Saccharum Church. Let's listen to it before we continue.
I was there when San'Kakor fell. I felt Mephisto's magic clawing at my mind. Even today, when I remember that moment, I am unsure if the anger I feel comes from him or me. But that does not hinder my faith. Remember, brothers and sisters, the light won that day. We rallied, we defeated pride, evil, and what's more, we did it together. The darkness will never extinguish the light. It is our duty to ensure that. The day we discovered the corruption within our faith was the day we began anew. It was the day I knew I was truly fighting for the light.
Speak again to Ksenia, you will learn the Lost Legacy challenge. Now it's time to teleport to Sarinset and you will find Ksenia at the northwest area of town. Once again, we find the Monarch shield, however, this one is used as an epitaph dedicated to the Saccharum fallen paladins. Continue the conversation and once it's done, go right and place the Paladin grave marker, which is only a few steps away from you. This will complete the Remembering the Fallen quest and you will get the Paladin Lord's Bulwark shield, which is no other than the shield that Karthus used himself. And go salvage it to unlock the transmog. This transmog can only be used at the moment by the Necromancer class and here is how it looks. So there you have it. There is a reason why this side quest gives us a challenge because it matters to the Diablo 4 story. So the question is, what does the future hold for Paladins and what do you think of the Monarch shield transmog? We reached the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far and found the video interesting or useful, Please consider to share, like, comment or subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.